You know, like I'll tell you, people talk about in SEAL training. They say, "Oh, everybody wants to quit at some point during SEAL training," and I literally, not at all, never for 1 second did I think, "Oh, I'm going to quit. I don't want to do this anymore." Not even a chance. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna disagree on a personal level. From a personal standpoint, I mean, with the no music thing, I think the music in my case helps. I think for a lot of people, music helps.
It might. When I talk specifically about writing, then music does not help me.
Especially music with like words,
Oh.
like if there's lyrics, you know. But if it's like some piano or something like that,
Okay.
that can help.
Echo, you are clear to listen to piano as you create.
Maybe some violin, some orchestra. I think that would work too for us.
Cello. This is a little bit more clarity on that point, is you cannot control them.
Right.
So you need to grab what you can, keep it as under control as you can, but you're not going to get the solid control that you might think that you desire.
Yeah. It's kind of like if you have this big like trash can lid and then you have this blob of like mercury. You're trying to keep it in the center, but don't try to like squeeze it with your hand or something because it's going to come out of your fingers, you know?
Yeah. And that, what if your co-host of a show comes up with examples like a trash can lid and mercury? You can't control that. All you can do is listen, nod your head, and say, "Good point."
It's more of it was an analogy, you know? It's like this comparison of, using metaphors.
Check. But what was really painful was the way they made these headsets. They didn't fit right. So they were very painful, and they actually squeezed your head. So when you put your headset on and then you put your helmet on over it, and it actually squeezed your head. And it was very, very uncomfortable. It gave you a headache. It just wasn't fun at all. It sucked. So we were out on this training mission, and this is when I was a task unit commander, and it was a long one. It was, 14 hours. We were out there on this target, and we were securing it, and we were holding it, and we were searching it, and doing all this stuff. It took a long time. And about 8 hours into it, one of the junior officers came up to me, and he says, "Have you kept your helmet on this whole time?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Doesn't it hurt a lot?" And I said, "Yes."
And the idea is you take responsibility for your direct actions, right? So it's kind of like if you do the opposite of that, it's like, okay, I was speeding. I got caught, right? I got speeding. I got a ticket. Is that my fault? Because yes, it's my fault. But in a way, if I don't want to exercise this concept, in a way, it's my parents' fault for having me. Or maybe not teaching me the value of following traffic
I'm not going
laws.
to have this discussion with you. That's just completely ridiculous.
It's the same thing, though.
You can't blame your parents for your speeding, Echo Charles.
That's what I'm
not
saying.
going to let you do carbohydrate in one shot. No, don't do that. It's not good for you.
Have you ever eaten, and I'm not saying when you're on the program, so to speak, have you ever eaten the whole box of donuts?
Negative.
Have you ever eaten a donut
I ate
before?
a bag of Hershey's Kisses one time. And it did not work out good.
So when you say you don't eat fruit, that's more of like when you're on the program, right?
Yeah, and you want to know when I'm on the program?
Yeah, bro. When are you on the
Now.
program?
And they apologized.
But overall,
Not a good thing.
not a good.
Don't lose your temper, people. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I would say losing your temper, not blowing up at someone, losing your temper, like for real, losing it. You're gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to think of a situation where that's cool.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll tell you want to know when I lose my temper? Because I'll tell you, I do lose my temper. It happens once every 6 months. And it is almost always with inanimate objects, namely objects that print or copy or compute in some way. Electronics. Sometimes I get angry.
Yeah. You're gonna probably want to keep that in private areas, right? You don't want people to see that.
Yeah, like my wife will hear me once every 6 months, and she'll come in and she'll be like, "Printer?" And I go, "Yeah." She says, "You're stupid." I go, "I know." She goes, "It doesn't care if you yell at it." And I say, "Yeah, I know." I guess people say, "Oh, you're strong."
Yeah,
but-
sometimes
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like that guy on the, you ever play video games?
No.
Okay, so let's say you win a lot of stuff during the day, and you're like, dang, I did a lot. My brain was kind of used a lot, and dang, I have this, whatever I got to do now.
Yeah.
Then you take the 10, 15-minute nap, then it brings you right back.
Yeah.
And it typically will not mess with my sleep.
I wonder how much of this is just you just not just powering through stuff.
Yeah, probably all of it.
Yeah.
But nonetheless.
People always ask me, and I get done working out, at like 5 or 6, well, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm done working out, and I usually don't eat until 9 or 10. So I probably need to do a better job of that. I'll have to take Echo Charles's advice on that one.
Yeah, that's it's funny.
But I have an open mind, so it's cool. I can do that.
Yeah, good. In the bodybuilding world, that's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's called the anabolic window, and it's like you can see little jokes on it where it's like,
Gotta jump through that
like,
anabolic.
oh, he missed his anabolic window, and it shows a picture of like a guy holding a guy dying or something.
Yeah. You do it in a positive way to increase your discipline. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, I like how how your home gym is kind of separate.
From my house?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
where you have to kind of go to it.
Yeah, so I do get to escape.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big factor. Mine is like right outside next to the barbecue.
Yeah.
Next to the little.
You don't know whether you want to.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm cruising or lifting.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
rough.
it depends.
It's rough for Echo Charles. Doesn't know if he's cruising or lifting.
Next question.
Bring your kids in to start jiu-jitsu. Get your dang self on the mat too, because you got to know it, and everybody should know it.
Yeah,
Except for bullies and evil people, they should be banned from jiu-jitsu because it's too powerful.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to be running around with a foul mouth. Now, I took my son and a couple of his buddies, went on a little surf trip, and they were sleeping in a tent outside of, and I was in the camper, and I woke up at when I normally wake up, and they were up early to go surfing as well. But I was standing outside their tent, and I was pretty impressed with
you could hear 'em.
the wide array of foul language that they produced.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing too, right? So it doesn't. If you never swear to your kids, it's not like you have protected them from swearing.
So that's my point. Is that after I stood out there for a while, and I listened to them, and then I said something along the lines of, "Hey, are you guys done? And are you ready to go surfing?" And my son says, "How long have you been out there, Dad?" And I swore back at him. I swore back at him and said, "I've been out here long."
Yeah.
And then they kind of remained quiet for a second, and then they started laughing. I said, "All right, boys, let's go."